What's up guys, Piedmonte89 here. Rolling this video for the second time because I had some problem with the camera. This is an angry video. This is a video calling out Piers Morgan, or however you say your first name, and all the idiots that were on the show tonight, that were in the anti-gun crowd. You see, I'm getting very sick and tired of people who want to debate about a subject they know nothing about. This is becoming a bigger and bigger problem. You talk about things as if you know what you're talking about, and yet you don't know the first thing about a firearm. Shall we begin? I can't take exact quotes, but I can tell you pretty much some things I'm going to point out. There were two women and a man present that were being interviewed by Piers Morgan tonight. And, you know, none of them knew a damn thing about firearms. In fact, I don't think anyone on that show, except for the one ex-serviceman that was on there a little bit before them, knew anything about firearms. And that, to me, is disturbing. Because we have people debating about stuff, and they know nothing about it. So, I'm going to go to this gun first. Because I'm going to talk about what the young woman said. I don't know names. Wasn't really paying attention too much, nor do I really care, as all of them pretty much are irrelevant to the subject anyway, as they know nothing about it. They don't know anything about the subject, I don't know anything about them. Kind of like, you know, same kind of deal going on. Anyway, so, she mentions towards the end of the interview that she doesn't think anyone needs a semi-automatic, or rather, she doesn't know why they have to have multiple capacity rounds in a gun. Well, look. Here's something for you, sweetheart. This is a single-shot shotgun, H&R. By the way, this is a very nice gun. H&R makes a very good product. But that's not the point. The point is, let's say multiple people break into your home. Well, that's very unlikely to happen. Happened to me. Yeah. So let's say I had this gun, and they might have had guns too. Illegally purchased firearms on the black market, for instance. Or they got them from a gangbanger, etc. I have to load the gun like so. I must first push this little lever to open it up. I then am able to put one round in the chamber. Upon putting that one round in the chamber, I can close it. Then, in order to fire it, I must cock that hammer back. In that entire time it took me to load that gun, do you think that they would have not noticed me grabbing for the gun and trying to load it? Do you think that I would have gone unscathed? Do you think that there was a possibility, perhaps, that I would have been shot or stabbed or attacked somehow? I think it's a very possible thing to happen. Now, that was just touching base on the whole single round gun. Now, there was a man on there who talked about how they shouldn't have any semi-automatics on the market. And I've got a couple things to say about that, actually. But number one, here is a bolt-action gun. This is a Mosin Nagant. This is a World War II rifle from Soviet Russia. And you would put a stripper clip in there. By the way, you guys talk about clips. And what you're really supposed to be talking about is magazines. There's a difference. You see, a stripper clip, you put in the gun like so, and you pull the stripper clip out, or you just manually push down and the rounds will go into the chamber. Whereas a magazine, you put the whole magazine that's holding the rounds into the gun, rack the slide, ready to go, or the bolt, whatever. But anyway, just one more thing to prove that you guys don't know what you're talking about. But in between rounds, I will have to wrestle this bolt up, pull it back, go to the next round, close. By the way, I will probably be off my eyes will not be on the sights at this point. I let place the gun down and do it manually, at which time I can be shot. Again, if there's multiple targets, I am really screwed. And even if there's a single target who has a semi-automatic as well, or even a revolver at close range, I can still be screwed. Okay? Let's quickly take a look at the gun that did save me from a robbery, from a forced entry. It's a semi-automatic. This here is a Remington Nylon 66. It's a .22 caliber gun. It holds 14 rounds. It's tube fed. That means there is no magazine. But it is semi-automatic, and there's more than one round, certainly. And while it does take some time to load, and by the way, this gun was not loaded at that time, it did save my life. It was a deterrent. And I think that a semi-automatic, when there's more than one person in the house, is definitely the more feasible gun to go to for self-defense, unless, of course, you might have a pump shotgun. Having said that, though, Senator Feinstein thinks that a six-shooter is enough for protection. Well, guess what? This is a 5-shot, not a 6. But let's say this was a 6-shot revolver. Okay, as you can see, yes, the barrel's pointed at me, but guess what? It's unloaded. So don't freak out, people. All you liberals out there that know absolutely nothing about guns. In order to load this gun, I have two options. I pop the cylinder open, I manually put in one round at a time, or I use my speed loader. And in the dark, this will be very hard to do. As you can see, I have to kind of wrestle with it, get it in there like so, twist it, and boom. Yes, the gun's loaded, my finger's off the trigger, it's pointing in a safe direction. There's a wall back there, there's no way the bullets could go flying out the house or anything. But I'm going to unload it and just simulate something here. As you see, it's on there's nothing towards the barrel for you liberal people out there. They just come out like that. But I would normally have to push the ejector rod. As you can see, one of them still didn't come out. So I had to push the ejector rod. Then I would have to repeat for each 5 rounds that I have, or 6, or sometimes, in some cases, 7 rounds. That right there, to me, is not good enough when I'm up against a wall, cornered by several men with guns, knives, baseball bats, what have you. Let's look at something that could definitely save my life in self-defense, even though it's been criticized by the liberal media. Here is a Ruger P95. It has a 15-round magazine. To load it, I simply place the magazine in. I rack my slide. As you can see, it's not a high-capacity magazine at all. I rack the slide, and as you can see, it's unloaded. So let's say I did run out of bullets for whatever reason in my gun. It holds open on the last round. I push out, take the next magazine, 15 more rounds. Oh my God, my life has been saved. No one's going to stand around for 30 rounds. Okay? No one's going to stand around with a guy shooting at them that has 15 rounds in the magazine. Even the criminally insane usually will run away. And by God, if I have to take them down, I will take them down. So, for all you idiots out there that were on that show, because you are idiots, you are debating about something you know nothing about whatsoever. Do not talk on my behalf as a gun owner, or any gun owner, trying to say that we don't need these high-capacity magazines. For one, this is a normal capacity magazine. Dude, whatever your name is, I don't even know, I don't really care. That's a normal magazine size. Now, that is a feasible reason to have semi-automatic still. You can argue all you want about it, but you don't even know the first thing about a gun. You just know they go bang. How about we pass a law where you can't have more than a $12,000 car on the road? Would that drive you crazy? You know, cars cause more deaths every year than guns. And Piers Morgan was like, oh God, they always bring up the cars. Well, because guess what? They do kill more people every year. It's also kind of weird that more knives and baseball bats and bludgeon weapons kill every year. It's also kind of weird to me that hammers kill more people every year in the United States than assault weapons. Which, by the way, there are no assault weapons out there. Assault weapons are fully automatic rifles. Or submachine guns. I mean, they're not out there. We have semi-automatics. As the serviceman who was interviewed prior to these Three Stooges getting up on there brought up. Simply put. And if the law does change, we can't have semi-automatics. You know, number one, I refuse to give mine up. If you want to come and take it, you can try. And even if you could take the gun, I expect, out of all fairness, to be 100% refunded the MSRP price every single penny that I spent on my guns. This is my property. This is not your property. You cannot just take people's property. You cannot tell me that I cannot have a flat screen TV. You cannot tell me I cannot have a semi-automatic pistol. Who the hell are you? Piers Morgan is not even an American citizen. He has no business talking about American politics whatsoever. So Piers Morgan, you need to shut your damn mouth. Because you know nothing about guns, and you have no respect for the Constitution. So with that said, I'm out. Remember, people, always remember, anti-gun is anti-American. Peace.